Adoomsies, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the groundbreaking conversation. Okay, let's be serious. I mean, people know the side of us. Oh no,
Yes,
they
they
do.
do. They do.
They've
No,
seen
no,
all the Lily
Anita, they
stuff,
do.
so they know
Yes.
that we're serious. Though
Are we?
we are.
Are we? Actually, I shouldn't say are we. Are you?
But you know, it's so funny because I mean, and it's not the same, but I think it's important for us to say we were really naughty when Shirley wasn't watching. I mean, we crack all these jokes and make all this noise.
Anita, please use personal pronouns. Say I was really. I was really.
Oh, Adomaa,
Please, I'm not part.
never.
Shirley, if you're watching
I've
this,
got people who can
I'm not.
prove
Please, who are these
you
people?
were
Who did
one
you
of
bribe?
the most notorious.
Shirley, hey, Anita, who did you bribe? Because
Excuse me?
whatever footage you have.
And I'm so happy you guys are seeing this. This is the real Adomaa.
Hey, what have I done? But what about what I just said is the real Adomaa?
I'm going to expose you.
You don't know Anita. You don't know.
You send me. Okay, let's be serious. We are embarking on this conversation. And first of all, thank you for choosing me.
I mean, who else? I have two. You're one of my two mentors, so.
I'm your mentor?
Oh, Anita, stop that.
Oh, am I your mentor?
We've had this
Or
conversation.
are you just saying this because people are watching?
Oh.
I like it.
Should I put all our conversations on the...
You don't need to. By now they know that you are not telling the truth. They know to trust only me.
Oh,
but listen, okay, so let's go straight to it. You chose me to do this with you. Why?
I mean, first off, you're someone I really, really look up to. And I'm not just saying that because you're here and you know. You're looking at me like you don't believe. No, but you're someone I really, really look up to. And I really like the series that you've been putting out recently on Instagram. Very inspiring. And I just knew that, I mean, I wouldn't want to have these conversations with anybody else because there's so much wisdom and so much insight. And thirdly, it's you. It's the Anita.
Okay.
It's like literally it's the Anita Erskine. Like.
No, okay, so I have to say, and I don't know where you're taking me. I know that you've called me and you've said, I'm working on this project. I saw the film, so I was one of the people who was privileged to be invited to the studio to watch the film. But should I be afraid where you're taking us?
Oh, not at all. But I mean, I feel like you've watched the film and we've had conversations, so it's not too far from where we've yeah. So don't be afraid.
So are there areas that you're about to touch on? Are there areas that, in fact, let me just ask you this. Let's be serious.
Okay.
Are there trigger warnings in what you're about to?
Yes, there might be a few. There might be a few trigger warnings.
Will this conversation trigger anything that you think?
I feel trigger anything for me?
For you.
I don't think so, because like these things happened years ago, and I've had when we did the screenings, the in-person screenings, I used to have a lot of conversations, so I have, I've practiced, talking about it over and over again, so it's not triggering anymore. It's just heavy. It's just very heavy.
Yeah, and why are you doing this? I mean, to be fair, like you just said, you've gone through something, happened years ago. I think you are on a mend. I don't know if you are fully mended. Why do you want to take us back? I mean, why must you take us back?
So I hadn't realized that I was still holding on. So I know that I have put the project out, the EP is out, the documentary came out, it premiered at Silverbird in 2022. So it's been out for 2 years. People have watched this, people have seen it, but I realized that I still felt like I was in control of my story and sharing it with only a few people, because you would have to have been there in person for us to be able to have these conversations. So technically it was out, but it really wasn't. I mean, the only thing that was out was just the music. But I realized that I still felt like I was holding on to something that it felt very disingenuous to
Really?
the process. And besides, there were lots of people when I used to talk about the screenings who are like, I'm not in the country, I can't be there. How do I get to watch it? And I kept saying, oh, we'll bring it soon. To be very honest, I wasn't planning on it because like that's a lot. But after sitting with it for some time, I'm just like, yeah, you have to. And then management also was like,
Let's do this.
let's do this.
Is it that you are, and correct me, okay? By all
Okay.
means. I mean, we're about to go into a series of real conversations, real talk. Is it that you're older, wiser, more mature now, so you feel that you can be open about your mental health struggles? I know you've been doing media interviews and stuff like that, which I really have enjoyed listening to your degree of transparency, but now you really want to broaden it up and out.
Yeah.
Does maturity have a role to play in this ability to carry this story now to a wider audience?
I mean, now that you're saying it, I feel like I can see how that could have played a part in it, but not necessarily. It just felt like the right time.
The right time.
Yeah, it felt like the right time. It felt like my final release. I'd been holding on to this narrative, and even though like you said, I've done interviews, I've talked about it. If you're not there in person, you still don't know what I'm talking about. So it felt like, you know what, just let it go and let it do what it needs to do for.
And this is for anyone, everyone who is asking questions about, asking themselves questions about, what is this that I'm feeling?
Yeah.
Am I going through something?
Yeah.
Will it help people identify with a mental health struggle, if that's what it is?
I hope so. I don't know. Honestly, I don't know what it is. It's just my story I'm sharing, so I don't know what it would do. But from the feedback that I have heard, a lot of people say it's nice for them to know that they're not alone. You know, the fact that there's someone else who's going through the same thing, it's just a different brand, but pretty much the same thing. There's just solidarity in knowing that it's not just you, and there's a comfort in that, there's a strength in that. So I hope that people are able to relate more and know that you're not alone. It's not, whatever it is you're going through, especially mental health wise, it's not exclusive to just you. And there is some community, or we can start building some community with these conversations. And hopefully spread it around so that there's a lot more awareness, there's a lot more, I don't know, like more conscious efforts to put things put things in the way to help to, I don't know. It's just a tiny step, but I'm hoping for bigger things to come out of it.
What message do you have for your audience, for the audience out there, anyone who by divine intervention will come across Adomaa's conversations on her experience, that we are into World Mental Health Day? What is that personalized message that maybe even cuts across? What would it be?
The biggest one, there's a lot I can say, but the biggest one for me is that there is a strength in vulnerability. Yeah, just because you're vulnerable doesn't make you weak. There's the general notion that you're exposing your weakness. I mean, it might feel that way, but there's a lot of strength in just the ability to even do that in the first place, and the impact that it would have on the people that you're, sharing these things with is huge.
Wow.
Yeah.
What do you want them to do with the information you will share?
Um, Expectations is such a tricky thing for me. I try not to have them because it could go either ways. But I really do hope, like I said earlier on, they know that they're not alone. I hope they know that it's safe to talk. I mean, it's scary to talk, but there is some degree of safety, and it's also freeing. It's there's this overwhelming sense of freedom that you get from, because it's been heavy, and so in doing this, you're releasing. So, I hope they take that as well.
Inhale, exhale. Let's go.
Ha!